Well, Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs has called that decision to revoke Title 42 reckless. And that is a view, as we noted, that some moderate Democratic senators have also echoed. They are warning of the consequences of this being lifted. Congressman Biggs joins us now. So, Congressman, what's your reaction to the repealing of 42 and what's going to happen when it's gone?
Very good to be with you. Well, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have a congeries of cascading catastrophes. So what's going to happen is you're going to have the Border Patrol totally overwhelmed. So you're going to have more opioids, fentanyl coming across. It's going to cheapen that drug, and it's going to make it more accessible. You're going to have more opioid problems, overdose problems. You're going to have terrorists coming across more than ever. We had last year, we had more than ever. You're going to have even more than that. You're going to have the border communities that have to deal with this on the first-hand basis. They won't be able to deal with it. Their NGOs are already overrun. The morale at the Border Patrol is low. You're going to have criminally violent folks released into the country, and it's going to be something that we just can't even imagine. It's probably going to be somewhere north of 400,000, probably, according to the numbers that the Biden administration is putting up. It's going to be over 500,000 people a month, and they will release most of those right into the United States.
You know, you talk about terrorists. I mean, I covered a case of a terrorist coming through the northern border at one point. So, I mean, it is possible. But you know what the administration says? They say, well, there are vaccines now. COVID, the surge is over, although that may not be the case, considering the widespread and increased cases of COVID with the BA2 variant. You know, do you buy that reasoning by the administration that they're doing it because, well, there are vaccines now and they can handle the public health emergency?
No, I don't think that's the real rationale here. Otherwise, they would say things like you don't have to wear a mask on airplanes, and we're going to unmask kids in schools and everything like that. This is really a different approach. You had last year 157 different nations sent people here. They didn't send them here, but people came from 157 different nations. And there's a lot of other communicable diseases besides even COVID and the COVID variants that come into this country, everything from non-treatable TB to Hansen's disease. This isn't real, what their excuse for getting rid of Title 42.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers. I mean, it's pretty astounding. In fiscal year 2022, the number of migrant encounters just under 1,967,000 or so. And there's the numbers. The number of Title 42 expulsions, just under half. I mean, half of the people expelled are under Title 42. You see there 426,000. I mean, Congressman, what happens when you don't have Title 42 to do all those 426,819? Do they just come in?
Yeah, most likely, because when we were able to ask Secretary Mayorkas this. They don't really have a plan, and that's part of the problem. There's no plan for this. There's no way to stop this. They're already overwhelmed. And just as you say, the first 2 weeks in March, they sent home 50,000 out of the 100,000 they encountered. And the numbers you just put up, that's exactly right. About half go home. But right now, the numbers that we're hearing, for instance, on the Remain in Mexico policy, which this administration is court ordered to implement, they're sending home 9 people a day.
No, what?
It is absolutely 9 people a day. That's the number that I got earlier this week.
9 people, that's less. I mean, you can count that on less than 2 hands. Or more than 2 hands, or just like 2 hands. 9 a day under that?
That's right, and it should be literally hundreds a day going back on that. And as long as this administration says we're open to everybody who's coming in, more and more people will come in, and we're not prepared for it in any way, and it'll erode the sovereignty and it'll erode the sanctity of this great nation.
And finally, Congressman, people say, well, it's the Republicans criticizing the administration, but you've got some moderate Democrats among them. Joe Manchin calls it a frightening decision. Senator Mark Kelly of your state says it's wrong. Maggie Hansen, New Hampshire, says it does not appear that the administration is ready for this impact. And even Reverend Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia, he says that he's warning it's not the right time to do this now. Do you think the White House will listen?
I hope they do. You're seeing more Democrats come along. And at first it was just some of our Democrat friends in Texas and Arizona, but now it's spreading throughout the country. They know this is bad not only for the country, but it's bad for them electorally, quite frankly. And I think that's why they're saying don't do it. The question is, And you asked the right question. And I'm not sure Secretary Mayorkas is going to listen to that at all, based on the interaction that the Border Security Caucus had with him earlier this week.
Well, it seems to be coming for now, unless they change it. Arizona Congressman, Republican Andy Biggs. Congressman, thank you for joining us on this Sunday.
Thank you.